Welcome students in our thermodynamics chapter. Now in our last lecture we have seen some basic concepts and the related terms which are very important according to your NEET, JEE and CET exams. All that concepts we have covered in our last lecture. Okay. Now in our today's lecture we will continue with the new syllabus, that is the points which are included in your textbook, that is new syllabus. That points we will cover in our today's lecture. Now in last lecture we have seen the equation for pressure volume type of work done, that is W is equal to minus Px multiplied by delta V. That equation we have seen in our last video lecture. Now in our today's lecture we came with some new points, that is free expansion, units of energy and work, and concept of maximum work done. These 3 points are very important according to your theory exam and all the competitive exams, and these points we will cover in our today's lecture. Okay. Now we will see one by one. First of all we will discuss what is meant by free expansion. Free expansion is nothing but the concept, or we can also say free falling, which is parallelly related with that term. Okay. Now all of you know that the principle of vacuum cleaner, what it or how it works, it pulls the outside air to inside. That is like that if we do any work in the presence of vacuum, then there will not be any pressure which is acting on that system which takes place, and that concept is nothing but what we can say the expansion in zero external pressure. Suppose if we consider a expansion of gas, suppose this is a system, and in this system we have taken n number of moles of gas and we have covered or enclosed with a frictionless and weightless piston, and n number of moles of gas we have taken here in this system, and suppose we have applied here vacuum. In this case what will happen, there are two pressures which are acting on this piston. I have already taught in my last video lecture. One pressure is acting from atmosphere on this piston. That pressure we are calling it the external pressure, and the pressure which is acting to inside, that is the substance which we have enclosed, it adds some pressure on the piston, and here two pressures when becomes equal, then the system achieves equilibrium. But here in this case if we apply vacuum from this upper side, then expansion will take place in the absence of what we can say any external pressure. Okay. Therefore Pex becomes 0, and if we take a formula, that is W is equal to minus Px multiplied by delta V, that formula we have derived in our last lecture, and this is nothing but what we can say pressure volume type of work done which is taking place in expansion or what we can say compression. And here if this external pressure becomes 0, in that case if we substitute that value in this equation, then what we will get? You will get W is equal to 0. Why? Because Pex becomes 0. That is expansion of gas in the presence of zero external pressure, or we can also define it expansion against zero opposing force. Expansion against zero opposing force is nothing but what we can say expansion in the presence of vacuum, and on this principle we can substitute the value of external pressure, that is Px is equal equal to 0, then the work done becomes 0. So this is the concept of what we can say free expansion. Okay. Then we will move to the next point from our chapter thermodynamics, that is nothing but units of energy and work. Now units of energy and work, this is very important point according to your numericals. That is, the numericals which you are going to solve, they will ask you to convert the answer which you have got at the end of numerical from either joule to Pascal meter cube, or from joule to what you can say kg meter square second raised to minus 2, like that. At that time all these conversions you should be prepared. First of all, we will start with joule. What is meant by joule? Okay, in this conversion you will notice that 1 joule is nothing but 1 kg meter square second raised to minus 2. This formula or this conversion you have to keep in mind. Now this is nothing but what is nothing but 1 Pascal meter cube. Okay, so this is the conversion of what I can say joule into Pascal meter cube. Okay, and here 1 Pascal is nothing but 1 kg meter raised to minus 1 second raised to minus 2. Here if we look at this unit, that is 1 Pascal, we are measuring a pressure into Pascal. Here we can also measure pressure into 1 bar, and this conversion will like this in the form of Pascal, 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Okay, and what is meant by Pascal, that value we have substituted here. 10 raised to, it becomes 10 raised to 5 kg meter raised to minus 1 second raised to minus 2. Okay, now here again if we came across this formula, look at here, pressure we are measuring in the form of what I can say bar or Pascal, but what about the volume? Here volume we are measuring in terms of dm cube. Therefore we have taken 1 dm cube bar, that is both the units we have kept here, volume as well as pressure, because these conversions for these conversions the value of work we are measuring here. Therefore work includes pressure as well as volume, and both these units we are measuring in terms of dm cube, volume in dm cube and pressure in bar. So therefore I have substituted all the values. Here we have to convert this into its corresponding units, that is dm cube into 10 raised to 5 kg meter raised to minus 1 second raised to minus 2. I have kept this term as it is. This is the term for what I can say, this term is for what I can say pressure, and this term we have introduced for volume. Therefore what I have to do here, I have kept pressure as it is and only dm cube I have introduced in this equation. And to convert dm cube into meter cube, at that time what you have to do, either you have to multiply it with 10 raised to minus 3 or you have to divide it by 1000. Okay, so what I did, I multiplied that term by 10 raised to minus 3, and this term I have kept as it is. Here 10 raised to minus 3 and 10 raised to plus 5. If we simplify these two quantities, then you will get 10 raised to 2, that is 100, and the remaining units I have kept as it is. In this conversion, meter cube and meter raised to minus 1, if we simplify both these terms, then 10 raised to 3 and 10 raised to minus 1, it becomes 10 raised to 2, that is meter square, kg into meter square second raised to minus 2. So this is the term which we have got, and this term is nothing but what we have defined here is nothing but 1 joule. Okay, so I am calling this term as a joule. Therefore I I will write the final conversion that I have got is nothing but 100 joule. Okay, so this is the conversion for, or we can say, the units of energy and work, and all these conversions you have to keep in mind. Then you can solve n number of numericals with this conversion, and this is very important point in our thermodynamics. Okay, then we will move to the next point, that is concept of maximum work done. Look at here, I have drawn different diagrams, and these diagrams are related to our concept. You already know, because the concept of pressure volume type of work done, in that concept I have drawn this diagram. Okay, suppose if n number of moles of gas which I have enclosed in a cylinder, and this cylinder is having weightless and frictionless piston, means that cylinder is fitted with weightless and frictionless piston, that I have shown with the help of diagram here. But what I did, I have drawn 4 figures. These are not 4 figures, to be continued. Okay, means if we see the pressure volume type of work done, or simple an expansion of gas in various steps, then you are going to calculate the maximum work done which is taking place in that process. Suppose if we consider the expansion of gas in a single step, then in that case you will not get a maximum work done directly. So to calculate accurate and maximum work done, what you have to do, you have to study the simple, or that process which you are going to study in n number of steps, that is infinitesimal number of steps. Then you can calculate its maximum work done. Or to understand this concept, we will take a good example. Suppose if you have a thread and you have to measure its length exactly, then what you will do, you will take that thread on the scale and you will measure it. Suppose in that case you have got a length of that thread is nothing but 2 feet. But if you are doing that same thing by dividing that thread into n number of parts, suppose you have divided that thread in 10 different parts and you are measuring the length of each part in various steps. In that case, you will get the length of that thread either greater than that of the previous one. Why you have got that accurate length? Because you have did that process in n number of steps. So to get maximum accuracy, here we cannot relate that process with accuracy, but here what you have to get here, you will get accuracy as well as maximum work done in this process. Then if you did that same thing in various or maximum steps, then you will get maximum work done. So this is the purpose behind that, and we will start this equation with reversible process. Means this process we have to see in case of reversible condition. Now we will start with our concept for getting maximum work done. Here that process we have to study in the form of isothermal and reversible condition. That is the principle behind that. And here I have explained n number of moles of gas which I have enclosed in a weightless and frictionless piston. And in the second process, what I did, the expansion will take place. So for this expansion, what we have to take here, suppose these are the weights which I have placed on weightless and frictionless piston, and if I remove the weights over this piston, one weight I have removed. In that case, what happens? Piston will move in some upward direction, and it will move with the change in volume, that is this much. This volume change is we are calling it as a dV. Here what happened? Some volume change takes place. That volume change is nothing but dV. Okay. And here, if you look at the figure after this, suppose again what I did, if I remove again one weight from the previous one, then that piston again move from its initial position to the upward side. Again here volume change takes place, which is having same magnitude, that is dV. Okay. So this is the what I can say volume change. Here for our better understanding, I have drawn this dotted line. I will remove these dotted lines. Again, some dV volume change takes place with the removal of again one weight. So what I did, the simple expansion I have learned or I did in n number of steps. So in that case, what is the purpose behind this? To get the maximum work done as well as with accuracy. Okay. So in this case, the small volume change will take place, that is dV, and gas expands. So in this same case, what you have to do, with the removing of these weights, at the same time what you are doing, the P external, that is external pressure, you are going to decrease in each step, that is with small infinitesimal change. This external pressure you are going to decrease in each step. Okay. So we will see what is the work done which is taking place in each condition or in each step. Okay. As the small change will take place in the volume, then work done will also change in very small, that is dW. That quantity we are calling as a dW. Okay. This dW is nothing but what you can say, the work done which is taking place in very small amount. Therefore, the work done which taking place, you can write with the small change in volume as dW is equal to minus Px multiplied by dV. This is what we can say the small work done for single step. Okay. So after this, as the expansion is reversible, the pressure condition we can say here P is sometimes greater than Pex. So this is the case for reversible condition. This should be must. The internal pressure should be greater than that of the external pressure, as we are looking the process as an expansion. Okay. So in that condition, what will happen? As we have written like this, what we have to write in the next step, P minus Pex is equal to dP. What this dP indicates? This dP is nothing but what we can say, small change in pressure, and that small change in pressure we are measuring in this form, that is P minus Pex, you will get dP. For small change in volume, we have to put this value for pressure, that is small change in pressure. And here in this equation, I am calling this as a equation number 1. In this equation, what we have to do? We have to substitute the value of pressure here, that is Pex. Then to calculate Pex, what you have to do, some changes here. that is you have to take Pex is equal to, and after this convergence, what you have to do, this minus Px you have to take at that side, and this dP you have to convert, or you have to take at the another side, then you will get P minus dP. So this is the equation for what you can say Pex, and this value you have to substitute. I am calling this as equation number 2, and the value of equation 2, what you have to do, you have to substitute in the above equation 1. So you will get the equation will be like this, that is dW is equal to, instead of Px I am substituting P minus dP into, outside the bracket dV will remain, and if you are going on multiplying this minus sign inside the equation, then what you will get, minus P into dV, minus minus becomes plus, therefore plus dP dV. Now we have continued this equation to this step, that is minus P dV remains as it is, but here if you look at this term dP dV, what is the meaning of it? If we consider the two small quantities, that is pressure and volume, these are the small changes which are taking place in each step, and the product of these two small quantities, its answer also becomes small. Therefore we are neglecting this term from this equation. So the final equation we will get is nothing but dW is equal to minus P into dV. So this is the small work done which is taking place in each step. Okay. So I will call this as a equation number, next what is the equation number? Equation number 3. I am calling this as the equation number 3. And if you look at for each step, you will observe or you will get the work done like this, that is dW is equal to minus P into dV. So this is the small work done, and what is our expectation? Our expectation is to get the addition of all these small work dones which are taking place in each step. So for that purpose, in mathematics, the term which is introduced is nothing but what you can say integration. So by integrating this small work done, you will get a maximum work, that is W max. So for that purpose, what we have to use here, the variable term, for the variable terms we have to apply the limits. For work done, you can apply the terms, that is W is equal to 0 to W max, and for variable term volume you can use V1 to V2, that is initial volume to final volume. Okay. Then we will integrate this equation in between the limits. So you will get the next equation, integration of dW is equal to minus integration of P into dV. And here what you have to do, for this integration you have to apply limits. For work done, W is equal to 0 to W max, that is work maximum. I will apply these limits, and here the variable term is nothing but volume. So for that purpose, I will integrate this value within the limit from volume V1 to V2. Okay. So directly you can also write for this equation, integration and derivative of any term. Integration derivative will cancel, and the original term which is you are getting here, only to that term you have to apply the limits, then you will get the final equation. That is, to avoid the extra step, I will directly write here as a W max, that is work maximum. Okay. For your better understanding, you can take like this, W, and you have to apply the limits 0 to W max, W max minus 0, then you will get the W max. Okay, so this is the extension of this step. In short, I have written directly W max. But here, if you are going to apply the limits for this volume, it will change. That is, I will keep all these terms as it is in minus integration in between the limits v1 to v2 into p into dv. And what about this step? Here, in this step, you have to use the ideal gas equation. You have to follow ideal gas equation. What is the equation for ideal gas equation? Ideal gas equation is nothing but PV is equal to nRT. This equation all of you are familiar with this equation. And here in this term, in this equation, you have to make some changes. That is, in terms of P, you have to write this ideal gas equation. Then this equation becomes like this: nRT upon V. Okay, so instead of pressure, you have to substitute this equation. P is equal to nRT upon V. So I will substitute this value in this equation minus integration limits between V1 to V2 and inside the bracket nRT upon V. Okay, dV. Here the constant terms I have to take outside the integration and the bracket. So the constant terms are here nothing but the number of moles and the real gas constant and temperature. Why temperature? Because the process is nothing but isothermal reversible process. So T also becomes constant, and all these terms I will take outside the integration, outside the bracket and integration. So the variable terms only will remain in the inside the integration, and here I will take outside it, that is minus nRT. All these terms I have taken outside integration between limits v1 to v2, and the variable terms only which are remaining inside the integration is nothing but dv upon v. Okay, so in mathematics there is a one rule in which the original term which is at the denominator, and if its derivative is present at the numerator, then if you want to integrate that term, then what you have to take? You have to take log of that term, that is log of v. Okay, so here only the log of v is remaining here, and that log is nothing but the natural log. Here I will write all these terms as it is minus nRT into log of this log is nothing but the what I can say natural log v, and what you have to do, you have to apply the limits between v1 to v2. So this is the term which is used in mathematics, and that concept you have to apply here. So what will remain here? Minus nRT into log v2 minus log of v1. So this is the application of what you can say the limits, that is v1 to v2. Okay, and after this step again this rule is there, subtraction rule we are calling it. It becomes v1 upon v2. So we have to make some changes here, minus nRT into log of v2 upon v1. So this is the final equation you will get in the form of what I can say W max, that is work maximum. So this is the final equation in terms of natural log. Okay, So to remove this natural log, because we are using the log table is which will start from log to the base 10. Therefore, for this conversion, what you have to do? You have to take the log to the base 10 value. Here, after this equation, we will continue here. The equation which we have got is nothing but W max is equal to minus nRT into log, this is nothing but what I can say, natural log V2 upon V1. Okay. So to convert this natural log into log to the base 10, the one term is introduced here, and that term we are calling it as a log to the base 10. Okay. For that conversion, the quantity is required 2.303. I will keep minus as it is, multiplied by nRT into log to the base 10 of. Now here I can write, instead of natural log, I will write log to the base 10 of V2 upon V1. So this is the final equation for what you can say, the maximum work done. This is the final equation in terms of what you can say, log to the base 10. And this equation you have to derive when the question will be asked in your exam. Calculate the maximum work done in isothermal reversible process. Then all this derivation you have to keep in mind, and you have to solve that derivation up to this equation, that is W max is equal to this one. Okay. So this is the final equation, and after this, if we use this concept of maximum work done, in that case, if you apply the Boyle's law in this case, then what you will get? Boyle's law, how we can define it? PV is equal to constant. Okay. And for initial and final states, if we take it as it is like this, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is equal to constant. Okay. Then this equation becomes like this. P1 upon P2 is equal to, I have kept P1 as it is, and this term V1 I have taken to this side, then it becomes V2 upon V1. Okay. So in the final equation I have got this term V2 upon V1. Instead of this term, if I put P1 upon P2, so the maximum work done equation we can calculate in terms of pressure also. So here the term V2 upon V1 is replaced by now P1 upon P2 due to the application of this equation to the, that is Boyle's law, if we apply to that W max equation. Okay. And the final equation we will get is nothing but will be like that. Only changes will take place here, that is W max is equal to minus 2.303 into nRT into log to the base 10 of P1 upon P2. Okay. So this is the equation which is used to calculate work maximum if the values of pressure are given. So in numericals they will ask either by given volume, initial and final volume, or by initial and final pressure. Okay. So alternative equations I have given here. You can use any equation whether they have given pressure or volume. You can use these equations, means whichever you will require in that case. Suppose if you want to if you don't want this negative sign, then what you have to do the changes? You have to make changes here. Instead of P1 upon P2, you can use P2 upon P1. if you do this conversion, or if you by doing this conversion, this minus sign you will lose, and only 2.2303 term that you will get. Instead of minus sign you will get here plus sign. Okay, if you make changes here. So this is the final equations for W max, that is work maximum in isothermal and reversible process. Okay, so this is all about the different points which we have covered in our today's lecture, and in the next lecture we will come with a new different concepts in thermodynamics. Thank you very much.